Good evening. So here we are, race 2 of round number 2 at Yamagawa, the Sunday Night League Touring Car Championship. A reverse grid of race number 1. If you've not watched race number 1, it is in the feed for you. Go and watch that before you watch the beginning of this race. Have you done that? Okay, so let's have a look at the grid for race number 2. So race number 2 is a reverse of race number 1. So starting on pole is Flashman in his Hyundai, and he will be starting on the super soft tyres. Him on the front row is Rob on drums in his Playmobil Lexus, and he will be starting on the super soft tyres as well. In third place is Jim in his Hyundai, and he is on the super soft tyres. In fourth place in his Mitsubishi is GT Racer, who starts on soft, so a compound harder than those in front of him. In fifth place is Chris Boo in his Mitsubishi, and he is on soft tyres. In sixth place is Noxie in his BMW. He is on the medium tyres, so we're starting 2x2s really, super softs and mediums. Next on the grid we have got Cinemod in his Mazda, and he is on the hard tyres. He's had the super softs in the first race, he's now gone for the hards, possibly the hottest part of the day during this weekend. So we'll see what happens to him. Wolfbane will start this race on the super soft tyres in his BMW. He finished 5th in race number 1. In the Hyundai we have Yokas on the hard tyres. So he made an excellent first race impression, setting the fastest lap and finishing 4th. Then we have the podium finisher of GT87 Tiger. He is in his Mazda, and he starts in hard tyres as well. Then we've got Intulu in the Lexus, and he starts on hards. And at the back of the grid, after his win in race 1, it is SNL Jam in the Subaru, and he is on the hard tyres. So we've got a real mix of tyres. We've got super softs at the front, we've got hards at the back. This is going to be a very interesting race with that compound mixture going on. So without further ado, let's get race number 2 underway. So Flashman on his super soft tyres will start on pole. We've got Rob on drums and Jim also on super softs. Then the middle of the pack goes softs, and then at the back we've got hard. So we will really see some excellent fighting happening in this race number 2 here at Yamagawa, and it's Flashman away, but I think Rob on drums got a better start, and Jim is already behind GT Racer, who's got a fantastic start. He's got himself up into 3rd place by turn number 1, and we've got Chris Boo up in for 4th as well. So Jim down into 5th, 6th place is Noxie, 7th, Wolfbane, 8th already is Intulu. Fantastic start from Intulu. Because of those slow starting Mazdas, we've got Cinemod and Tiger, 9th and 10th, 11th is Jam, and 12th is Yokas. But at the front we have got Flashman, but he's under pressure from Rob on drums into the left-hander, and Rob on drums takes the lead. He's taken the lead in his Mazda. Flashman in 2nd place under pressure from GT Racer and Chris Boo in their Evos. Chris Boo will be having a look, as we see Noxie maybe having a look as well, but Wolfbane is up in for 5th. Chris Boo having a cheeky look, but no, he can't get the move done, but he's got Wolfbane all over the back of him. Let's go on board with the BMW driver, who's on the super soft tyres. He's got a bit of an advantage, I think, on Chris Boo, who's got the softs in front of him, but can he do anything into the chicane, into the hairpin? No, he cannot. But we see up ahead Flashman under attack from GT Racer. Rob on drums trying to pull away from the rest of the field. He's on the super soft tyres, trying to use the advantage of those tyres right now. As we see Flashman second, third GT Racer, fourth is Wolfbane, fifth is Chris Boo, sixth is Jim, seventh is Noxie, eighth is Tiger, ninth is Jam. Where's Intulu gone? He had an excellent start. Yokas, Intulu's at the back. We're going to have a look and see what happened to Intulu, a championship contender. Something big has happened, so he was in ninth going into the hairpin. And just gets caught up with Cinnamod. Has to wait for Cinnamod then because he spun him round. Oh no, disaster there for Intulu. So Rob on drums, currently leading in his Lexus, whilst the Lexus of Intulu having some problems on the problem. Starting at the back of race 2, you're having to fight through the field. You've got tyre disadvantage as well, whilst those up front, they've got the super soft tyres. They are making hay whilst the sun shines, and it really is shining here at Yamagawa. And who was that going off? That was GT Racer going off turn 1. What on earth happened there to him? It looked like he'd just forgotten to turn left. Here we go. So GT Racer in third place. He's chasing Flashman. Has he got the slipstream and just mistimed it? I don't know what's happened there, but he's dropped from third down to sixth. He's coming out in front of Noxie, who gets round the outside of him. So Noxie gets himself up into sixth. So GT Racer having a disaster of the first corner. Then we've got Tiger and Jam fighting it out for 8th place. So these two were on the podium in race 1. They're now fighting over 8th place. We've got Rob Wolfbane getting himself up into 2nd place. He's got past Flashman. So Wolfbane now in 2nd. 3rd is Flashman. Jim is in 4th. He's got Chris Boo behind him. Chris Boo just staying in the vicinity of Jim, who's all over the back of Flashman. So Flashman currently in 3rd. Jim in 4th, both in Hyundais, both on the super soft tyres. But here comes Chris Boo up the inside of Jim at the hairpin. Nice little move by the Mitsubishi driver. ESRM represented by Chris Boo in this championship. Only one ESRM driver here in the Porsches. We had 5 of them, believe it or not, in the championship. But at the front, Rob on drums is under attack now from the fast Wolfbane. So Wolfbane started about 8th on the grid, has got himself into 2nd, and he's having a look at the race leader now as they go up the home straight. Flashman 3rd, 4th is Chris Boo, 5th is Jim, holding station right now, but actually having a cheeky look maybe. Chris Boo going a tighter line through turn 1 than Jim and Flashman. And has he got the exit? He has. He's got Flashman on the exit. Very nicely done there by Chris Boo. Noxie in 6th in his BMW. 7th GT Racer in his Evo. 8th is Tiger, and Jam is right behind. So the Subaru driver, the winner of race number 1, he's stuck in 9th place right now. Both cars are on the hard tyres. They're both losing time. But let's have a look at the front of the grid, because Wolfbane has taken the lead. So what did Wolfbane do? So Rob on drums just hitting the curb, and Wolfbane was able to drive up the inside before they got to the long left-hander. So Wolfbane gets himself up into the lead. He now leads from the American Rob on drums, who won the first season of the Porsche Cup. So he has got caliber. Was unable to attend most of the meeting last weekend, but he's here for the whole duration. This time round, Jim is fighting with Flashman. He gets a good move on Flashman going into the chicane. Caught the tail end of it. Flashman now at the clutches of Noxie. Noxie in the Project X BMW. He's under fire though from GT Racer himself, so he's attacking Flashman, but he also has to be aware of GT Racer. Let's go on board with the Mitsubishi driver as we go through the final chicane. We've got Noxie ahead of us, a slower apex speed by GT Racer, just losing a little bit of time to Noxie, and Flashman up ahead in the Hyundai, keeping them all at bay. Here's the fight between Jam and Tiger. So Tiger is still there. Jam cannot do anything about the Mazda in front of him. Yokas is 10th, 11th is in Tulu, and Cinnamod is in 12th, but right at the front is Wolfbane, pulling away from Rob on drums, who is under attack now from Chris Boo. Let's go on board with the Mitsubishi driver. Can he do a similar move to what Wolfbane did to Rob on drums? Coming into the left-hander, yes he can, although Rob is there. Can he hold the position? Yes, he does. He gets past Rob on drums. He has a bit more wear on the front tyres. He's on the super soft, whilst Chris Boo is on the softs. He will now chase down Wolfbane, who is sliding his BMW through the chicane. Every single time we see that BMW go through the chicane, he is sliding that car very nicely through it, drifting around. Jim is up in 4th place right now. He is loving it, as his rear wing says. But Noxie has a taste for podiums. He got 2 podiums in round 1. He's looking for more podiums this time round. He's got to get past Jim and also Rob on drums in the next 3 laps or more. But Noxie right now on the medium tyres. Jim is on the super softs, and Jim's tyres are looking worn. Got GT Racer, and at the back we saw Tiger and Jam still fighting. 8th and 9th still. So Jam is just bottled up behind Tiger. He can't get past the Mazda driver from the GT87 team. CSL Wolfbane are leading this race. He's got a big comfortable margin now from Chris Boo, who has got himself into 2nd place. Last lap of 1:36.0. Wolfbane did the fastest lap of the race, a 1:34.4. Doing some nice lap times. Chris Boo currently in 2nd. Rob on drums is 3rd. He's got Noxie now. Noxie's got past Jim. So where did that happen? Let's see if we can see where it happened. We can't. It possibly happened into turn 1. So Noxie's got himself up into 4th place. So that podium that I was talking about, Noxie can now see it. It's in front of him. Jim is in 5th in his Hyundai. The tyre wear starting to wear his front tyres out as he runs a little bit wide into the long left-hander. He's now got GT Racer pushing hard behind him. GT Racer coming down into the chicane. This is a tight little chicane. It's very fast though. It's deceptively fast in these cars. We've got Flashman there. 8th place is Tiger. He's still ahead of Jam. Jam all over the back of the Mazda. Could Jam have a go? He looks up the inside, but Tiger sweeps the door shut. Jam cannot get past the Demon Tweaks sponsored Mazda. His Rapid Fit Subaru currently. He's got speed, but he just doesn't seem to have the speed in the right places to make the move. But up front, Wolfbane has slowed down. What on earth has happened to Wolfbane? He had a huge lead. What has happened here? So coming out of the final corner. No. Deceptive. The camera angle made it look like Wolfbane had made a mistake. Apologies, viewer. Thought Wolfbane had made a mistake, but he's got a nice, comfortable lead. It is about 2 seconds. I say 2 seconds. In any other series, 2 seconds, they'd be screaming. But in touring cars, 2 seconds is a comfortable lead. As we see Jam has got past. Jam has got past Tiger. We just saw it at the bottom of the screen. I saw it flick, so let's see what happens going down the home straight. Tiger sees Jam, but Jam says, no, you are not closing the door on me. I am coming up the inside. Keeps it nice and tight into turn 1. He is now up into 8th place. But look, it's taken him until now. He's run wide, though. So can Tiger get an attack happening? No, I don't think he can. As we have a look up the field, we have got Noxie fighting with Rob on drums. Rob on drums running a little bit deep into this left-hander. It will mean Noxie will have a nice run going down to the chicane. Let's go on board with the BMW driver. You can't see the steering wheel in the BMW. So, down into the chicane. Rob on drums runs deep. He knows that Noxie's there. He comes back on the track and he's given the place to Noxie. Noxie says, thank you very much. I will have that third place, thank you. Rob on drums then in fourth. GT Racer, fifth place now. These two had fantastic fights in the Porsche Cup. Rob on drums and GT Racer ever present in that series. And they are fighting again in the Sunday Night League. Sixth place is Jim. Flashman now has got the attention of race. Oh, and Jam gets past. I was going to say, Flashman has the attention of race 1 winner, and Tiger gets past as well. So a little mistake. You can look at the left front on Flashman. His left front is screaming, enough, please, Mr. Flashman. I'm only a young tyre. In Tulu on the hards, he's had that error on the first lap and never really recovered with those lap times as well. 137s, 136s for Cinemod, so Cinemod keeping up with... Oh, Chris Boo's taking the lead! What on earth is this madness? What has happened here? So, Wolfbane had a comfortable lead, and then into turn 1 they are side by side going through the S's. This is fantastic. This is the final lap as well, so Wolfbane losing the lead on the final lap. We've been here before with these two in race 2 as well. If you remember back at the Red Bull Ring, these two were fighting for the lead on the final corner, and Wolfbane came second to Chris Boo by less than a tenth of a second, and Chris Boo has got the lead right now, but Wolfbane is back in the lead. Wolfbane back in the lead. Chris Boo will be having a look going into the chicane, but Wolfbane covers it off. As I say, it's quicker than it looks. Oh, Wolfbane all over the curb. So Chris Boo may have a better exit, but I think Wolfbane's got away with it. Look at his tyres, though, in comparison to Chris Boo. So Chris Boo will be putting the pressure on. He knows what happens when Wolfbane is under pressure based on what happened at the Red Bull Ring. But we've only got a few corners to go. This is the last tricky part of the race, as Wolfbane takes that very easy. So that means Chris Boo can have an attack maybe into the final corner. The BMW of Wolfbane leads ahead of Chris Boo. I think Chris Boo was going to have to rely on his Evo's acceleration out of the corner, but I think Wolfbane is weaving. He thinks he's done enough. Yes, Chris Boo is celebrating. Great fight between the two. Third place is Noxie. Fourth place, Rob on drums. Fifth is GT Racer. Jim is in sixth. Seventh place is Jam. Eighth is Tiger, who was there all along. Ninth is Yokas. 10th is Flashman. Cinemod has got past Intulu on the final lap. So, was that tactics from Intulu? I do not know. But let's have a look at that race result. So, the winner, and the first time in the Touring Car Championship, Wolfbane wins in his BMW on the super soft tyres. Second is Chris Boo in the Mitsubishi on softs. Third, a fantastic podium for Noxie in his BMW on medium tyres. Fourth, Rob on drums, super soft tyres for him in his Lexus. GT Racer in fifth place for Mitsubishi on softs. Sixth is Jim in his Hyundai on super soft tyres. Seventh is Race 1 winner SNL Jam in his Subaru on hards. Eighth is Tiger in the Mazda on hards. Ninth, Yokas in his Hyundai on the hard tyres. 10th is Flashman in his Hyundai on the super softs. 11th is Cinemod in the Mazda on hards. And in Tulu, in his Lexus is on the hards, and that ends in Tulu's run of podiums. The first time he has not finished on the podium, he finishes last in race 2 here in round 2, but that does mean in race 3 he will start on pole position with Cinemod second and Flashman in third. Please like, share and subscribe this race. We will be back very shortly with race number 3 here at Yamagawa, round number 2 of the Sunday Night League Touring Car Championship.